So, as you guys are aware, I'm an absolute fanatic about dance music, about electronic music, about nightlife, and about festivals, right? I love all of that stuff. And obviously, the last few years has been really tumultuous in terms of going to those sort of things because of the pandemic. Loads of things got cancelled, loads of things got postponed, and generally around the world, the nightlife scene has basically been decimated due to governments really draconian, strict, and harsh rules and regulations and mandates when it comes to dealing with COVID-19. And one of these parts that's really been affected unfairly, I think, has been festivals, especially outdoor ones. In the early part of the pandemic in the UK, we experimented with different approaches dealing with festivals during this kind of a pandemic and trying to figure out how it would work. We had people doing things in open spaces with nothing kind of covering it, and people occupying their spaces in these little raised platform areas, which were quite cool, I think, in terms of a concept, because that would work, I think, really well for a VIP area. I'm not really a fan of those things, but I think if you are going to make it work, at least offer something that's somewhat meaningful, that would have some sort of appeal, that would actually differentiate your experience from being in a regular kind of general public kind of crowd, sorry, in a festival. So what I'm talking about is that in these festivals, earlier parts, they'd have these little squares, these kind of raised platforms where you'd basically have the ability to scan your QR code to get the menu on your phone, order drinks from that raised plinth, but you can only dance and congregate there because obviously that was due to the part in that rule where you could only hang around with people who are basically in your bubble, quote unquote, right? So you could not cross contaminate. I don't know how that works because you're all coming in one queue, but anyway, regardless, that was basically the idea behind it. And I thought that would be an actual good thing to kind of implement in regular festivals for a VIP section, because usually VIP sections of festivals are either you get access to a bar, a VIP toilets, whatever, maybe some different sort of tents that you might go to, or sometimes they'd have this section at the front of the stage, or the front of the stage, where it would only be for VIP people to stand in. And it was a bit crap because you just got to stand in front of the regular people that are behind you, so there wasn't much of an experience, and usually you're too close to the stage to see anything. Sometimes you have to kind of tilt your neck up. It wasn't necessarily the best experience, I don't think so, when you go to a festival. You either going to go to a festival and be part of the nonsense and be part of the madness that's happening with the general public, or you want to be in your own little secluded private place. You don't want to have this weird kind of in-between thing. Anyway, fast forward. One of the main festivals I was looking to go to is called Houghton, a really well-regarded and popular festival here in the UK that's run by Craig Richards, who's also a very influential DJ here in the UK. If you're from here, you would know that he does loads of back-to-back sets at Fabric with Ricardo Villalobos, and obviously does a lot of nights too at the Lion and Lamb pub here in here in Shoreditch in London. But Houghton's kind of like his interpretation or his idea of what a sick sort of dance music festival would look like. And from what I've heard in terms of reports and video clips I've seen, it legitimately does look like one of the best sort of festivals that we have available here at the moment in the UK. And unfortunately, because of the pandemic, they've not been able to put it on, I think, for the last 3 years. They've had to postpone it time and time again. And this, unfortunately, because of the craziness of the pandemic, is actually only the third one they're doing. They only were able to do two. They done the first, which I heard logistically was a bit of a nightmare, but had a lot of good things from it. And then the second one was meant to be really busy, but still really good in terms of the ability to give people the idea or the impression, okay, cool, there's some minerals or there's some meat to this festival that I can hold on to come back to next year. Because that's usually the thing. Usually people don't know about festivals, whether it's good or not, until it gets too hyped. But sometimes if you're able to give people an indication of how good it might be, they're able to kind of hang about and see you and trust you for the next one. And I remember seeing a couple of videos about Houghton, one being this one that I'm actually going to play here from 2018 of Ricardo Villalobos playing, that got me infatuated with the festival. And ever since then, I've always wanted to go. And I'm so glad now to hear that they're finally looking to ramp up production of the new festival, or the festival for this year, 2022. And they're going to have the exact same lineup that they wanted to put on in 2019, 2022. So it should be an absolute barnstormer. But here's a clip of Ricardo Villalobos playing at Houghton Festival in 2018, the last one before the pandemic. There's a good mix of this at the end. Let me skip it. There's a good. Hear this mix. Hear this mix. Hear this mix from Ricardo. Hear this mix. This mix is so good. That's it. Before, yeah, there you go. Before this. Yeah, let's go here. The mix is incredible. Yeah, hear this mix. Hear that mix. So good. So good. Oh. So as you can tell, magical rave. Supposedly the sets are as magical as what I've seen of what I've shown you here in this video clip, and luckily it looks like the next iteration of it in 2022 is actually going to happen this time around, because things are back to some semblance of normality in the UK. Again, things could change at a dime, but it looks like it's going to go ahead. So this is courtesy of Houghton. It says as follows: Houghton, 11th to the 14th of August 2022. It says, with great pride, we present the program of music for Houghton 2022. Our intention has been to honor the festival that didn't happen in 2019. With the return of possibilities, we finally have the chance to build upon the joy of year 1 and year 2. We look forward to successfully celebrating year 3 in year 6, which is crazy. None of us could have imagined such a suspenseful and prolonged journey to the summit, but get there we shall. Preparations are fully underway. The magic of Houghton will soon return. Tickets will go on sale Thursday the 3rd of February at 10 a.m. on Resident Advisor. So I think tickets are available now at the moment, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, there they are, $230. You've got living, your vehicle pass £70, car park pass for $15, and obviously a deposit for the first installment. Now, it's quite evident to see that the tickets are still available. I think prior, I think 2019 or no, 2018, whatever it was, tickets sold out really quickly, and especially the first iteration, the first one I remember selling out in, maybe a day or maybe a couple of days. So quite clearly you can see what I've been saying on the podcast before about there being a real sort of kind of lack of people going out nowadays. I think the pandemic has unfortunately changed nightlife forever, in good and bad. And I think one of the bad things is that we've unfortunately lost some of the general punters, the people that would have generally filled up festivals and venues, who kind of just go out for the weekend here and there, or maybe go out once a year, have definitely got put off from going out to these events because of the pandemic, because they're maybe afraid of catching the virus, or just don't want to be in kind of packed environments, or maybe discovered new habits and hobbies that they're more interested in. So that's the only bummer, concerning part of it. And obviously another part of it might be because a lot of customers might have held onto their tickets, they're rolling them over into 2022, so these might be new tickets that they're putting on sale for new customers who basically want to purchase it. I don't really know, but that aside, that's maybe the only slight concern about it. But I do like how they organize it. I like how everything is done. Obviously, accommodation wise, you have to kind of get that set up yourself, in terms of making sure that you buy a pre-installed tent system, that they already have it there, which is a bit different from the stuff that I've gone to, where you have to kind of bring your own things. They've got, regular tents, they've got airstreams, they've got tiki huts and whatnot, depending on your budget. Most likely I would definitely go for these tents here that they have, called the Tangerine Fields, and if I'm not mistaken, they're like 140. They are about 140, including the air mattress and whatnot. Not the most luxurious spot to stay in, but again, having been to plenty of kind of field raves and stuff that you have to kind of sleep outdoors for, they're usually quite magical events, especially when you're there for like a week or 4 days, surrounded by loads of strangers who are also fanatical about the music and the scene as much as you are. It definitely is a bit of a unique experience, because you get to tap out from kind of regular everyday life. Usually in these kind of locations, and the internet and network on your phone is crap, so you don't get time to sit on your phone and be on social media all day, so you actually have to talk to strangers, and find new friends and find stuff to do, and just engross yourself completely into that program that they have, and what hell of a program do they have available for us. The lineup is just ridiculous. It really is ridiculous. Obviously some easy one that stands out, like Andy Blake from World Unknown is going to be there. You got Gerd Janssen's going to be there. You got Died Sundrum is going to be there. What else? I'm seeing that's just standing out here for the most part. Horse Meat Disco. So many people. Obviously not this person, we don't care about them. Jerome Hill. We got Joy Orbison playing. Like, come on, man. Leonard Wilkins playing. Too many. Magda's gonna be there. That will be a flipping good set, especially if she's playing vinyl. Move D, Nicholas Lutz. Like, too many. Rogan Flugel, Sassy J, this lady, I forgot how to pronounce her name. I don't know how to pronounce that name, but she's Irish. She's really good. Seth Troxler's gonna be there too. So it's a really good mix of people. Zip, like Ricardo Villalobos and Zip in the same venue. You know they're gonna play a couple of back-to-back sets. That's gonna be absolutely a barnstorming event. Raresh is there too. Like, mad, man. There's gonna be so many arms flailing in the back in the flipping DJ booth. I really can't wait. So I'm really looking forward to it. It's a bit of a toss up between going to Houghton and then going to Primavera Sound. Obviously, because Primavera Sound, if I'm not mistaken, weekend 2 is in June, July. I think I might actually have it up here, actually. That I've actually put up. Yeah, it's actually up here. So June, July. Cost wise, if I kind of added it up roughly, I think Houghton is like $230 ticket, $140 for the campaign thing, and then I guess transportation and whatnot. So you're basically looking at 500 quid in terms of getting you there with a bit of spending money left over. And of course you can add some more if you want to have more spending money, but just to kind of get you there, 500 quid. And again, Barcelona Primavera, unfortunately, because UK festivals are so expensive, it's actually about the same, right? Because the tickets to Primavera Sound, again, I'd probably go to this weekend too, which is June 2nd to June 12th. Which features the following people: headliners on June 9th, Dua Lipa, Gorillaz, Interpol, Tyler the Creator. The 10th, you got Lord, Massive Attack, The Strokes. And June 11th, you got Georgia Smith, Megan Thee Stallion, Tame Impala, Phoenix, and Yeah Yeah Yeahs. I think Playboy Kai is also playing on this bill, if I'm not mistaken. That's why I wanted to see also. But yeah, regardless, the list is pretty decent, right? But then the tickets are €245. The flights will probably be about 120 euros, 160 maybe. So you're still looking at the same amount. But then again, if you add the Airbnb cost, maybe it will go up to about 700, 600. So there's not much of a difference. So either you go to a festival in the middle of England, in the rain, in an open field where it might rain, right? In a flipping tent that you're paying 140 quid for, or you decide to pick up your bags and go Primavera and go to one of the nicest cities in Europe, in Barcelona, eat amazing food, have great weather, meet some interesting people, listen to some cool and interesting bands you probably haven't heard of, and go from there. Because let's be honest, right? As great as that lineup is, I probably listen to everybody's set on here at least once, or I've heard a production from them, or I've heard a remix on edit from them, or I know what they look like, right? Every single person on this list, I can say without a doubt. But when it comes to Primavera Sound list, there's just so many bands and artists and people and live performances, people that I don't really know who they are. So it's going to be a bit of, slow dives. It's a flipping barnstorm of a list to go to. So it's a bit of a toss up. I'm probably going to be leaning more on the Houghton side of things because I think it's a new experience, something I haven't been to clearly, and that video from Ricardo Villalobos playing in 2018 is just too good to turn down.